Yeti Nation. How are we tonight?
Ding, ding, round two. Yeti Nation, how are you?
Woo! Now,
Woo-hoo.
we definitely had it going this time, so I feel much better about it. I was able to see the little stream lining up. We got a couple in the chat already.
We
So,
already got chatter saying, where you boys at? Where you at?
yeah, so we are definitely off and running here. We've got some new information to come out about the Utica Yeti. Why don't you go ahead and break that new news for us?
Well, I'm excited. As far as this year, we're going, last year we got split between Utica and Rome. Guess what? We're staying in Utica this year. We're going to be at the Nexus Center for our tryouts on Sunday, April 23rd. We're going to definitely get everything rocking at 10 o'clock in the morning. We start with registration. After registration, we get the pictures going. Mark Murphy's going to be there taking photos of everybody that tries out. This way, they are in our data bank, and if they're good enough and ready enough and Yeti enough to make the team, then we got everything ready to rock and roll and get it up on the website, and it's good to go. As far as I got to make sure that everybody gets to the link tree and gets registered. As far as payment, I'm not worried about payment right now. Everybody will be paid before they step on the field. They need to go to the NABLL website as well and register and get the insurance. A lot of good things have happened with the insurance with the NABLL. They have now a that is the player profile. Click through there and get it submitted. I just had another guy from the Buffalo area sent. He's registered, so I'm excited about that. As far as once you get registered, get to the NABLL website and get the insurance. That is, it goes throughout every part of the NABLL season. So once we get that taken care of, we pick the team, and we're going to be in Utica this year.
And right
I'm
here,
excited.
yes,
Very excited. Brand new facility. I'm excited. We're not going to be in the odd. It's connected to the odd, but it's a brand new facility that I'm hoping the players of the Yeti and the fans of that come and watch have a great time. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting year as we fight for the national championship.
absolutely. And just to walk everybody through this here real quick, if you just go to the NABLL.com, player registration, this is how you get your insurance, get yourself signed up. There's lots of things that the league offers, new teams. They actually, tonight, right now,
Right now, right this second, I got Neil Paulus. They're breaking down on a coaches chat. It's going to be filmed. It's being streamed right now through just the coaches and the GMs, but it will be on the website. Where if you're interested, you got Hall of Fame coaches and players. Breaking down offenses and showing coaches and general managers that have never done box lacrosse how to do things. That's a perk of being in the NABLL. Trying to grow the game, and what better way to do it with a Utica, a captain of the Utica Yeti, talking box lacrosse at a national level.
well, I
Great
mean,
stuff.
he's got plenty of national awards. He's also been an international coach, and I mean, Tony actually coaches for Team Mexico. So I mean, the guys that are involved, this isn't like you're just going down to the local beer league and you're like, hey, help me out here. I mean, you've got legitimate professionals that have played at the highest level, coached at the highest level. It's a great league. They've done a lot for it. They make it super easy for everybody to sign up, get your insurance, which covers you for the year once you're in, and definitely most importantly, we would love to see everybody there for the April 23rd tryout because that's really what it comes down to. Are you Yeti?
You Yeti, baby. As far as Yeti or not, here we come.
Yeti or not, here we come. I love it.
Keep your eyes open because we do exist. We made I've talked to the coaches. They're fired up. They're getting the word out to the guys that they've known throughout the years, and interest level is high. we've lost definitely a couple guys up to, and a shout out to Nate and what they're doing up there in the Thousand Islands for the Spirits. Shout out to Oswego. Shout out to the Eels. The league is looking good. As
We've
far as
actually
excited.
got
Here's
somebody in the
another.
oh,
I'll shut up for a second. You say what you got.
we got somebody in the comments, Mikey Paternit, or sorry, I'm sure I butchered your last name. Ring this year. Can't wait to see Tony at Mexico tryouts. So we definitely got some attention out there. Yeah, anybody who doesn't know, Tony runs the Golden Bears. He's also one of the 7 magical members of the NABLL board. Tony
Fantastic
Gray.
seven.
I've got a
Fantastic seven.
Absolutely. We've got I sat down with him and Rich and we did a little podcast there that's out on my channel. Go through and look at it. Very interesting. One of these days, I got to sit down with Tony and try to get a longer form. I still got to make up Al Snow's. I lost his audio, and we have been so busy with all the other channels. We've got the homesteading and about a million other things going on. But like we said, huge Yeti news for the tryout, and also it is 100% confirmed. We will be down at Delaware Sunday for the championship games, for the championship day, actually, 9 o'clock in the morning, then the 11 o'clock in the morning game, and then the championship game. So great, and we're going to have all highlights from it. The league, the Delaware Lacrosse group has gone out of their way to make sure that everybody is going to have a good experience down there because they're making sure highlights are done. It's going to be live streamed on my channel, and we'll be doing some commentary with so much more to come. Here's the Winter Classic teams. Yeah, so excited. Can't wait to see. I haven't seen a lot of the Yetis. We are Harry Pups. I can't wait to meet those guys. You got the Bad News Bears photo up there.
Westminster Wild are going to be darn smoking hot too.
I'm
There's no.
really hoping to see some of them Spencer Love backflips. That would really be another. That'd be a treat. And we've got a way better camera for this tournament, Spencer. So if somehow anybody can tell Spencer Love, we will get a way better shot of his backflip this time and get some sweet slow mo with it.
Yeah, yeah. As far as I'm still working, now that you told me what's going on this weekend down in Albany, I think I have to redirect. That's going to be a good one this weekend down in Albany. I'm excited about that one, but we won't go there yet. But as far as the Delaware, I
We
want
can.
to get down. But well, no, as far as I'm excited, I got Tony Gray is talking with Team Mexico right now on the stream that they're doing, and I'm excited about the league. As far as NABLL is, they're working it. And I'm proud to be part of it. I know Nate and the coaches up in the Thousand Islands. They're on the stream as well. I got Neil, one of my captains. Good stuff is going on right now in the box game, and
I mean,
you know,
it's a good thing we've got the NABLL because after the show we've kind of had with the PBLA, and then you're starting to hear rumors they might be back, they might not be back. I don't really want to comment one way or the other
yeah,
because there's some
as
conflicting
far as
stories.
hats off
But
to them if they get to play, cool. I know what it's NABLL season. It's the NLL season. We got some great. I'm excited. I'm glad my son got that ESPN Plus. Shout out to them because I'm watching some great box lacrosse. I'm learning a lot of stuff. As far as I don't think I'll ever get behind the bench because I'll probably have an aneurysm and I can't have that anymore. But as far as to see what they're how they're setting up and how close are the Yeti. I ain't comparing us to any type of professional league, but you want to we're darn what Tony and Johnny got going on with the players that we got. You want to know what it's good to be a Yeti, that's for sure.
well,
As
that was
far as
one thing a lot of the PBLA guys that had a chance to play is they said, it was business as usual for the guys that had played for the Yetis because they've come out through the smoke machine, they've had the music, they've had the Chicago Bulls intro playing, little Metallica coming in the background. So that is a big thing. The Yeti and that brand new Nexus Center, it is attached to the Odd, so anybody who's been to the Odd before for the Battle on the Barge will also know where it is. But the Nexus Center is a brand new building. It's about 1,500 seats, a little more intimate, but wow, I think it's going to be a sweet facility for you guys. And I believe we've got some nice bag square maybe a little custom VIP section going on.
We're definitely working a bag square VIP area as far as we're working all avenues. As far as it gives us the Utica lounges there, it's going to be opened. I'm hoping that we can get the bag square cross check pilsner served during the games. That would be great. I'm not gonna, if it can, it can. If it can, it can. I'm not gonna step on anybody's toes there. That's way beyond my control, but. We will definitely have some sort of bag square hoo ha going on because the hooligans down there, they're a bunch of soccer crazed nuts down at Bank Square. If you ever get a chance and you're in Utica and you want a genuine German cuisine, get down there because it's right in the downtown Bank Square, across from not the train. Well, it's the train station and it's the bus station, right across the street from the main entrance door. It's got great German cuisine food. It's got great authentic German beer. They got the spicy stuff, they got the sweet stuff, they got the light stuff. If you want some great hamburgers, probably the best hamburgers and cheeseburgers uh, inside of the Utica Square. It's
And now that
great. It's pet friendly. They have
well,
an outdoor
now it's
market.
warming up. That's what I was going to say. Is you've got the
Yeah,
outdoor. I was clicking at the.
the
I mean,
outdoor,
there
the
you see the beer
patio is a
garden.
great time. They got the music, live music during the summertime. We've been there several times, and as far as I'm excited that we can get down there even more this year now that we're in Utica. So it's good. Good times are coming in Utica this summer. That's for sure. We actually, you're showing something that we was just talking about is possibly getting a bag square cornhole tournament going. And me and Jimmy Fay have talked about it. We're looking to possibly get something like that going. Raise the awareness for some vets or for Believe in 271. We're definitely going to be giving back to 271 again this year, and hopefully in a lot more monetary way so that they can continue to help those that help us.
Well,
Nobody fights it.
no, and that was one thing is a lot of people realized during the COVID lockdown, and I heard it so many times talking to guys doing these podcasts is without lacrosse, they went to a mental state that they didn't know actually existed. And
Yeah.
that's what it's nice having Believe 271 because, like you said, no one fights alone. It's good for everybody to know there's somebody out there. Not everybody has the ability to get out on the floor and run some of them demons out anymore, but that's
As far as again, the sponsors, Greg, with everything that we got going on, we have our new campaign is getting ready to take effect at the beginning of March. The as far as on the uticayeti.com, you can see it's still last year's page. I'm working on the sponsorship, but it's similar to last year's. It's a small business thing. I try to do as much as we can with what we can do, and what you're doing, what Murph has been doing, what all of our sponsors have been doing. It's putting it gives us an opportunity to shoot the shit for a while and talk about whatever we want to talk about, and it's box lacrosse. I'm not going to talk much about field lacrosse, but there was some great freaking field lacrosse games.
I
You got Syracuse playing Maryland
I
this
still
weekend.
don't. I know. I still don't know how you're watching that field lacrosse though with what's going on in the box lacrosse
It's way.
world right now.
It's way. I tell you one thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Syracuse Gate is bringing the BTB behind the backs again. But when I watched it back in high school when you were live, because it wasn't on TV, I was lucky enough to go to the Carrier Dome and watch these guys. You got Gate to Zalberti to Gate, but they're all behind the backs. One behind the back, two behind the back, shot behind the back. It was insane watching those guys play. They're bringing that chemistry, that fast pace, move the ball, be unique, which box lacrosse, it's all based off of box lacrosse. They're trying to find the two-man game, and it's different. It's more slow paced, but it's great to watch, and see, I'm watching Neil Paulus and these guys talk right now, basically the same thing about the field guys. coming and playing box lacrosse. And they translate great. Why are everybody going to find these box kids up in Canada? You want to what? They're right here in the States. Get out to Buffalo. What they got going on out there is great. Rodney Red Eye and Owen, they're doing great things with Joe Dowdy. Al Snow down in the Salamanca area. They're all balling, and they're spreading the love of the game. They're driving all the way to here to be a part of the Yeti family. So I'm excited about that stuff, and we're growing it the way we know how to grow it. If this is how we're doing it, with the ability to talk to people and let them know there's box lacrosse, there's field lacrosse, 40 years of lacrosse, Tri-City lacrosse. Why do I talk field lacrosse, Beecher?
It's what you know.
Because it's 40 years of lacrosse from Tri-City, man.
Yeah. I'll be ready for field lacrosse springtime when I coach the kids team. I'm all good with that. But I don't know, like Toronto, Georgia, that was an amazing game this weekend.
Listen. June 3rd, the battle on the barge, June 3rd and 4th. This is growing. And as far as we're going to be getting into the US Boxla, and we're going to get it registered, but June 3rd and 4th, Saturday, Sunday, we have youth teams that have now jumped on. We have some women's teams that have now jumped on. As far as I know, I talked to Justin McKinney. As far as Albany is definitely open, and they're interested in coming up and playing in the Battle of the Barge. So
we've got a question on the Nexus Center. Will there be goal lights and horns?
Oh baby, they got lights. They got lights. Lights, and guess what? They don't have the horn, but we got a horn. Don't you worry about that. We'll make sure of it.
There will be a horn, absolutely, and yes. Buffalo is
the jumbotron. The jumbotron will be working with replays. The lights will be lighted up. We have a bar at the end of the field. I wish I had some pictures that I would show, but as far as it's going to be quite exciting. We have suites. I would love to talk to a group of guys, maybe the Tri-City guys that are want to get together and rent out a suite, and we can definitely talk to them and get that all taken care of, where you're pampered like a true Yeti fan should be. As far as there's a lot of things that are new and growing. Excited about that, that's for sure. But June 3rd and 4th. What I'm telling you, as far as plan on coming up, we're talking with Tri-City with allowing possibly have some camping up there, where you're able to wake up in the morning. You want to take a run out on the field. You got a box right up at Tri-City, and as far as I'm going to take the lead on that in regards to I'm going to be the camp director. So as far as there's no shenanigans getting out of control, I know I got some guys on my team that would probably, if they can.
Who's wrangling you in if you're the camp director is what I want to know.
I guess I volunteer for something like this. If I got to volunteer, if it's allowed, we got the fire department that's right next door. So, the cool feature is I ain't gonna lie, I want to do this. It's a battle on the barge. Why can't we go up there? We have our box field up there. We're probably going to throw the Masters, because the Masters guys have said that they want to play. Well, so the mall walkers.
No, the mall walkers. But we need to get the mall walkers on film this time. And now that we know the guy that's going to be in charge of it has, done this a few times, we won't lose all the mall walker footage. Because I tell you, Dalen, some of the stuff he did out there, and I tell you, there's nothing better than watching Bob Leary run trying to hold his shorts up. That is priceless. Look at the speed.
Just did a great job in goal. As far as why we're talking a little bit of the NABLL and the Empire and things that are going on. April 2nd, up in Thousand Islands, Nate Jobson and the Spirit are having a open run, so that those that are in the NABLL trying out for NABLL teams, contact Nate Jobson up at Thousand Island Spirits for any additional. Looking for players, we're going to throw in sticks, and let the guys get a run. He's got a real nice facility that they're excited to open up. And good stuff is happening.
Right here,
Uh,
everybody who needs to get a hold of Nate, through his Instagram page, shoot him a message. Doing an awesome job up there. So great to see the program grow, and that's what this has really been about. The NABLL is really helping this flourish, and now, I mean, they were talking about they had like 12 teams. I don't know how many of them actually committed with the money or not yet. We'll find out probably soon enough. But yeah, that's been great. There's so much talent. There's really no excuse now for guys not to be able to get out on the floor, and the shortened season now having the basically it's college friendly now. So you're going to see a lot of those teams with the younger college style players now in nationals. That's going to be a big deal.
yeah, yeah, it's and we're starting a little bit later than in the past couple of years. We started the end of March, and then last year we started April 9th for tryouts. This year, obviously, we're not starting until April 23rd, Sunday at the Nexus Center, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Registration starts at 10. But as far as, it's going to give us an opportunity to get some of those college kids that are now just coming off their, maybe it was their senior year, if maybe it wasn't, but who want to play some box. It's a non-professional, it's pay to play. So there's no,
You keep your eligibility. There's no having to worry
there's
about
no
any of
eligibility.
that.
It's just
But
leaving that
where
day.
where else are you going to get that kind of experience? I mean, you're playing against guys that are all pro players. You're playing against guys that have played in the biggest show, who maybe now aren't quite in that age bracket, but you've got so much talent going through this league. And when you look at that national championship, I mean, you guys talk about like I noticed right behind you we've got a Northeast Championship trophy sitting there. It's not a given, that the Northeast Championship is even as far as who it's going to. That Northeast is, look at that thing. That is beautiful. That one's the Utica
The
Yeti custom.
inaugural. The other one is this one's ours and ours to keep. Nobody's ever going to be able to say this again because it was the inaugural NABLL upstate champion that was and is and always will be the Utica Yeti. And you want to know what? There's more to add to it. We're going to add to this as far as I'm forever grateful. It's a beautiful, you're putting tears in my eyes right now, but as far as it's great stuff, man. It's what my players, our players play for. I mean, the blood, sweat, tears, and there's a lot of tears because you know what? There's serious play. It's no joke. 9 guys got an opportunity to play in a professional league this year. That's pretty darn cool. Some got looks, some didn't quite make it. Again,
But
that's
some guys now have professional goals. You can't
yeah,
you can't
yeah,
take that away
yeah.
from it.
And
They
not for
literally,
nothing.
these guys got flown around to go play. It's unfortunate the league seemed to bite off a little more than they could chew. Maybe a couple less teams might help, but that's either here nor there. But now you have guys who, because of the Utica Yeti and because of the NABLL and what they put on, are professionals. They've had I can't take the Yeti trophy back. And he says, no, no, no. The Yeti one is the Yeti, but we did make a separate one that is up for grabs this year.
There is that one's on the mantle, and I am going to be working on it with Greg actually, and maybe talking. I would love to add a nice base to it so that we can possibly with the engraver get some nice little nameplate put on there, and
Maybe, yeah.
it still can be. It still can have the names burnt into the backside and everything because you have all that, and now it has a more stable. I don't like moving that one around because it's a little bit more not tipsy. It's got a different base than this one does.
Yes.
So it's a little bit. I want to get it on something so it's solid and is easily held while you're sipping from it someday.
Yeah. Well, actually, we got.
Oh, look at that!
You have to
Oh,
check out Uncle Mike's wood shop in the Etsy store. He's been quite busy. Made me a sweet stool. We got a bunch of plates, bowls, all kinds of
is that what
things.
that pedestal was? That was
Yeah,
the main part of the. Okay,
yeah. This was he made for me because I stand up most of the time, and
right.
this way I can
Yeah,
stand and sit.
that's bad, dude. That's badass. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
it's sitting right there because I most of the time during the day, by this time of night, I'm usually pretty good with sitting down for a little bit. But during the day, I use that 90% of the time, except for today, I was oiling it and I almost sat on it while I put a bunch of oil on, get it all over the rug. But uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm just seeing where they're still talking. Neil's talking to Tony right now, and I've had it down low, and they got that's a cool thing. I'm sitting there.
So,
Neil's going like you were talking with Coach Dojo,
Coach
Matt.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yes, in regards to they're almost doing it, but it's on more of a paper and not players actually seeing video in there. He's doing the old school, drawing and everything like that. But you know what? That's what I love about it is I'm going to be able to go back and reference this. I'm going to be able to go and watch you and Matt do what you guys are doing. That's great stuff with Rodney as well. That's the cool thing about this game. I wish I got into it 25, 30 years ago because you want to know what? I would have loved playing box lacrosse because I was a defenseman. I love putting, you're telling me I can, I had size and I could run at the time. That's what, it would have been an honor to, play with guys, where is he? Where is he? He's in the background. Where is he up there? Oh, that's not him. Hold on.
You got to turn it other way. Other way.
Other way.
No, the other way. One more.
The other way.
One more. There you go. There's the Thorpe
There
jersey.
he is. That guy right there. A little shout out to shout out. Get a little
Jim Thorpe there. Yeah. Oh, we got the Bills. We can do without the Bills. There's a nice Yeti poster up there, though.
Jesus, what the hell am I doing? This is. Can you see it? Number 11 there.
Yeah, the Jim Thorpe jersey.
Number 11, Reggie Thorpe, Herkimer alum.
Herculum.
Herkimeter. Herkimeter's getting some shout.
We need a little Herkimeter bell for every time we talk about a Herculum because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them as far as it's great stuff. Great stuff. I love watching it. It's fun to watch. It's fun to talk about. Getting into the NLL. Starting to see. I'm all about the Bandits right now, but I'm also about the Vegas teams. They're definitely some quality teams that I think are going to be up and coming. Obviously, Buffalo's Buffalo, but the Vegas team, I'm telling you, they got some houses that are, that first and second line is pretty freaking hammers they are. But as far as
and they're really not doing bad. They came off to a little bit of a rough start, but I tell you, that Vegas team is really coming together nicely. Panther City did something similar last year, but Vegas seems to be getting it together a little quicker than Panther City seemed to last year. But I tell you, that Western Conference is no joke this year. And now that you're not going to get a fifth team out of the Eastern Conference, I'm really looking forward to how this breaks down because I honestly think that Calgary team is the dark horse coming out of the West. Since I've been talking to Owen and we do his show, you look at it. Yes, the PBLA guys are allowed to play in the NABLL, and yes,
they are. There's no restrictions.
So, but they're coming on fast, and I really think Calgary, if they can keep this together, Del Bianco is amazing, and what he does with that transition game to get them started, the way he can laser those passes up front, and this is how great of a guy he is. So every time he gets an assist, there's a group, they donate to a Calgary sports fund, and he's given $6,000 this year for towards that charity with it's like $1,000 every assist, 7,000. They don't even keep assist stats you try to find on the NLL website where you can find the stats for the goalie assist. I can't find it. And I tell you what, Christian Del Bianco is one of the most underrated goalies in the league with how he gets out and moves the ball. And that Jake Lazor that played for, he was the same way. Same with Kobe Johnson. I got to watch him. And like the way that they hit the players on the move breaking out, it's a different level. And that's where guys can really gain the experience. And that's what you don't learn unless you're actually out there playing box, how to change in the benches, how to do all that. Because that's where you really notice the difference in the field game. It's got to be fast and you have to anticipate. You got to, know where you're supposed to be ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes it so fast. You got the trannies that can get upfield, and some take the shots, some pull it out. You know there's a lot of saves, there's a lot of goals, there's a lot of great hits. The picks, double picks, the repicks, and then you're getting picked, or you're setting a pick, but yet you're getting a pass at the same time. You know,
Yeah,
it's
the
it's
offense is crazy. So
yeah.
me and Coach Johnson there, the sensei, we started our show Sensei and the Squatch. Check it out of the dojo. You can get it through my YouTube channel. But we broke down that Toronto Georgia game, so we won't spend too much time talking about that. But wow, what a game! This Georgia team, for not having any wins, is playing really good. Their offense, but they just they don't seem to be able to get over that hump.
Yeah, but there aren't there. From what I've watched 2 games of them. As far as they're going for, Thompson 1, Thompson 2, and what's the other? Keen, is that
Q,
his name?
Andrew Q.
Q.
Yeah,
As far as you gotta, I don't know. You got to be a little bit more deceptive, maybe. I think.
yeah, they
As far as,
but I mean, their defense too. So you look at Toronto scored 22 goals last week against the New York defense, and usually Orleman in New York is really good. New York scores 14 goals and gets blown out in the game. I mean, who would have ever thought
yeah,
you score 14 goals and somehow manage to get blown out?
it was a high score, that's for sure. And then the Rochester and the Halifax game, that was a great one.
That was probably my game of the week, really, that Rochester Halifax game. So I had actually picked against Rochester. I thought this was going to be the start of the end. I started seeing like Hartley fighting with the Halifax guy the week before and just all that emotionalness. And they really, I had to eat, I ate crow on that one. They completely came around and they Rochester proved they're at the top. And yeah, they might have had a little bit of a hiccup, but they are not going to be susceptible to what Halifax did last year, which was come out with that 7-0 record and then completely falter. I mean, it's still early, but I don't know. I thought it was a
It's
really
coming down to goalie play. I mean, the goalie play is what it's come to. Albany's getting schmacked. Dougie's become a Swiss. Holy, I mean,
he's
things that, and no disrespect, I wish I was any type of the athlete that he is, as far as, but he's just not.
well,
He's getting. You can hear it. He's getting the save, but it's bouncing in. He's not getting the goalie bounce, I guess you would say. They're hitting him with everything, and wow.
yeah. I mean,
I'm excited. I'm very excited for this weekend. I'm excited to come down and
it's going to be a huge showing. But so like when you look, Dougie, yeah, he did not play great. Getty, who's played good, but Albany
there's
actually,
2 games in a row he's gotten yanked.
yeah, he I don't know
Or
what
is
he's
it
got.
3?
It is
Is it
it's
3 in a row?
it's three. Well,
It's 3
the
in a
one
row.
before that he didn't get yanked because he was actually sick. But that Getty and Getty played amazing in that game, and then he came in last week. That was rough all the way around. But I mean, their
Yeah,
offense played so I don't know. You can't expect your goalie and defense to do that much. You have to, get some possession and get on the field. But like McCardle, 17 shots, 2 goals. I mean, that's a lot of shots. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of shots.
shots.
Connor Kelly, he did a little better with his 3. I mean, their offense was definitely better, but Albany is guilty of taking time off every game. And you see it here that
They
every
can't get
quarter
that win back.
well,
Yeah.
like here's the problem: is they start like New York comes out, they score, Albany comes back. You're like, okay, Albany's gonna make a game. Then 2, then 1, and we're like, all right. But then they get on a 4-goal run. Albany
Yeah.
answers with 1, and then they get another 4-goal run. You
Yeah.
can't have an 8-1 stretch. 7 goals to come back. Albany is not that team. And like Colton Watkinson, he got a power play goal. He scores. Their defense scores. Their transition has really been good. But yeah, it has just been an offensive, very bad struggle. And even when their offense looks decent, but you got to look at Orleman. So did Orleman have 50 saves because Orleman played amazing, or did Orleman have 50 saves because Albany's shooting it at his chest?
Well, and that's it right there. Or is it because the Riptide did a great job defensively and didn't allow those inside shots?
And
Did they
that's
break them down? Did they break them down to you know, these goalies are good enough. You know, again, Dougie's had a catching the bad breaks. You know, Albany's playing solid defense, and they're getting the. You know, we want the outside shot. We don't want the inside shot. That's bad. You know, everything keep to the outside. Goalies should. You know,
Yeah,
take a look at the Riptide. He made 50 saves.
yeah.
You should be making those saves.
And then, I mean, you look, Albany went on a 6 goal run, and that's the thing that drives me nuts as an Albany fan. So you watch it and you know they're capable of it. But like, even when you look at that, it's that Tchaikovsky, he's a defenseman, he gets the transition goals. But Albany needs to get a goal from like Nishimura. You got to get one from Watkinson. LaFontaine had a hat trick in the last game. He was like the only guy I think that scored in the last game. But like he wasn't on the board. I did actually. He had a pretty quiet night, but he they need those transition guys, or else they're not in contention for it.
Yeah, it's what's the face-off guys looking like?
Well,
They,
so they brought in that new face-off guy.
he never played before, right?
He's
Yeah,
a
it was
he's a
like
PLL
15 minutes
player, I
before the
think.
game.
Yeah, and they brought him in, and he did definitely better than it's Tucci was his name, Zach Tucci, and he. But I don't know. I was a little upset they didn't go with the local Connor Russell plays for Collar City Kings. He is a great player. I think he's very underrated for his faceoffs. He doesn't even take a lot of them, but it's not because he can't. It's because he plays a different role on that team, and he'll step in and take some for Collar City. But he runs the face-off factory. I don't know. I don't know if it was maybe a scheduling thing or what. I haven't actually talked to him about it, but I would have liked to seen them try him a little while ago because he's a very great offensive player, but his face-off, and he's one of those hard-nosed grinder like that Withers from Halifax. Jake Withers is such an underrated face-off guy, not just because he's going to win the face-offs for you, but because of what he does defensively and offensively. And I feel like, you know, he could have been that guy. I've seen him do it for Collar City, and I know the NLL is another step up, but I'm telling you, defensively, he's in great enough shape. He's got the mentality. He's that, like, just a hard-nosed player, and I think he really could help. But, I mean, I'm also not a
How many
professional
years has he
coach.
been playing box? I mean, Baptiste, that's the biggest thing with the Mammoth. Watching them, Baptiste is getting out there, and
The
he's
wings.
not. He's no longer just a face-off threat. He's either going to come down and pump one in if he gets it,
Yeah,
or he's going to go down and he can play solid defense now.
you're you're talking the wings, though.
A real guy that was good enough and big enough and to say badass enough to
He
to make that transition.
Well, to be a face-off guy in this league, like him, Nardella, Withers, it's that toughness mentality though. It is that hard-nosed mentality. Like you said, you have to be tough enough, and that's Baptiste's
Oh,
biggest thing.
Bill, you want to talk about Beach? I'm going to jump off. You want to talk to the Pharaoh for the Pharaoh 3? We got right now a family inside Tri City and the Utica Yeti. Nate Farrell played at Syracuse, then transferred to RIT. His little brother, Nicky Farrell, and you know what, is at RIT, two-time champion going back. And his dad, Andy Farrell. This is all inside of Tri City and the Utica Yeti. You want to know? It's a face-off machine. Those guys, you want to know what they do on Fun Time? They go downstairs and they got a little app that one of the two wrote, and it whistles every so many seconds so that they can sit there. And that's what they do is they sit there and they, instead of us playing chess, no, they go downstairs and do 50 reps.
It's I had that conversation with my nephew today though. You got to get
It's
your
great stuff.
Yeah, you got to have the stick in your hand. The more you do anything, the better you get at it. And
Yes.
that seems to be Albany's problem, I'm guessing, is, we had the bye week and then we're just struggling. They're getting slow. They'll be coming back this week. Colorado, though, on the other hand, has not looked very good. And the defending champions, they did get off to a
Yeah.
slow start last year, but they really got to start. I mean, even they pulled Dylan Ward, and Dylan Ward's usually, he's that guy, but they still have enough time to kind of bring it around. But again, it was against Calgary. But I mean, Vancouver. How about Sean Evans on that Vancouver team? What has he done to that team? They got rid of Mitch Jones, and now Vancouver gets 13 goals and almost beats Panther City. Yeah, no, I mean, the parity in this league is unbelievable.
there's some good players out there, man. I mean, the stats boys, Randy and his brother, though they're, on different teams, but you want to know what? The same bloodline, they're great players.
Yeah.
There's there's great stuff coming through. There's no question, and it's only going to get better as the American players get to play more and more. I know with our program
How
that.
about how about Tom Schreiber though, showing everybody that you can play two hands in box. He got a
Oh
left-handed
yeah,
goal.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
That was a very American
Ripper.
thing to do. I was excited to see that when he switched lefty, and you could see it through the goalie off. He did not expect it. All of a sudden, he switches left, never turned or nothing, just goes right, sticking his right hand
Boom,
right to
boom.
his left, steps and shoots so fast. And I laugh because everybody says you can't switch hands in box because it's not fast enough. And I get what they're saying when it comes to the big old slow turnaround. But there's times that if you can shoot like that, lights out from there, I mean, you can't tell me it's a disadvantage to be able to play two hands. I mean, Tom Schreiber scored from the restraint line.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even still, if you got two hands, obviously you got a dominant hand. Every player's got their dominant hand, but if obviously these D1 players, some of these kids, man, what are they doing for 15 hours a day? They're doing stuff with their sticks. Take a look at Blaine. Some of the tricks Blaine is able to do, it's not because he was at he was out in his backyard or up at Tri City,
I
drumping,
love
doing
watching him.
stuff.
Him, especially on an open floor night, though, the stuff he tries to do, and it's
Yeah.
yeah. But like you,
Behind the back, there's a behind the back one where he catches it, and he's even got a couple through the legs where he catches it one hand, and it's you want to kill him, but you want to what? It's the right shot because they score. Sometimes they don't, but you want to what? You can't take that creativity away from somebody. You
that's
want to as long as if they make the save or as long as you're still humping to get that ground ball and make justification and get the rebound, hey, go for it, man. That's creativity at its finest.
it is, and
Love it.
it's like Kiefer said, it's not always the best shot. Definitely want to.
No,
Hey,
no,
no,
seriously, you want
Keeper
to
just
kill him
threw it.
sometimes.
Keeper just threw that in the comments and asked me if we wanted to show or hide it. We absolutely are showing it because that was my favorite part of the Kiefer podcast. Is you could see his face when I started talking about Blaine. Because as the guy who's covering it and cutting the highlights, there's few things as good as when Blaine has a good night to clip highlights of. Because like he's gonna try something crazy. He launches. He's so strong. Nobody expects him to fly through the air like he does.
Oh,
But I can understand why as sometimes you're like that might not have been the best alternative, but he is so much fun to watch.
he's got a sense of humor. As far as at the lax night, he Joe Dirted it. He had a pair of he wore a wig, wore a blonde wig, and he had his cut off jeans and everything underneath his uniform. And when he scored, he dropped it. You want to know what? Creativity. That's good stuff. It was good parody.
That's what the
It was
NABLL is
fun.
all about too. Is all the fun. Worse when we tell him not to do it, and he goes and does it again. Yeah. Keeper in the comments has got me dying. All right, so if we're looking at, we've been on here for 45 minutes almost already. Let's look at next week's games in the NLL and Calgary, Vancouver. Actually, my affiliate Owen there, that guy, I don't know how he does it. He has started that YouTube channel, and now he's gotten himself a plane ticket out to Vancouver, and he's going to go cover the game. He's got interviews with all those guys. Everybody check out Owen Falks. It's Tech Lax
That
Lacrosse.
one.
Yeah, and he's on Instagram too. If anybody has a hard time finding it, I don't think I remembered to tag it in this description, but on my instant messenger, you'll definitely find we're working on things all together. I could not be prouder than to have helped him in what little way I did, and now just to watch him off and running. So props to him. He's going to cover that game for us, so we'll know all about it next week. This is a huge game, I think. So last week, Saskatchewan lost to Calgary. So San Diego's sitting on top of that division right now, and Saskatchewan needs to. They don't need it, but they really. This is a almost a must-win for Saskatchewan, and nobody's beat San Diego in the West with the exception of Calgary. So we'll see if Bouquet and the rest of the offense from Saskatchewan could step up. Georgia and Toronto. That is going to be an excellent rematch. that was such a close game last week. Anybody who really enjoys lacrosse and the intricacies of it, to see what the coaches have done and what the players are going to do differently going into this game after such a tight game, and really Georgia almost came back and won that. Lyle put one off the post at the end, could have tied the game. Call, one way or the other at the end of the game. Whether or not, I don't understand how they don't reset the shot clock when he clearly hits the pipe and it bounces back at him, but whatever, that's happening so fast. But the game that we're going to get to go see live, and I'm actually this week, I'm not going to wear the face paint because
Oh, keep your eyes open because
ev-
you never know.
every time I've worn face paint, Albany's lost, so I'm done painting my face. I'm still going to have my blowhorn, and we did get some special new horns for the Firewolves game,
Can I
so
bring are cowbells allowed?
yeah,
Oh, I can bring my noisemakers?
absolutely.
Uh,
And if not, it's not that far of a walk back to the car to throw them back in. I'll walk it out for you. But
well,
no, they let us bring in our little megaphones. I don't know how crazy they'll let you get away with it. But
they're going to let the Yeti in?
what's that?
I said they're going to let cross-check in?
They probably would.
As far as I'm thinking of it, especially if I know where you sit,
You
I'd be a fool
actually,
not to know.
you know what? We happen to know a guy. Maybe we should make some phone calls tomorrow and see if we can what's going on with that, because we might be able to. Yeah, we might
Work it.
be able to find out. I might even just email the ticket guy. Yeah, we'll talk about this later after the show. We might
Okay,
be able to manage that. Now, here is, you talked about Trevor Baptiste in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is
Philadelphia. That's what I
coming
meant.
back. The Wings have looked good. This is a huge game for them. Buffalo is Buffalo, so we obviously know who you're hoping wins that game.
It's
But
a great Dane. That's a great Dane, man. That kid is no joke.
that's the thing, is so Byrne has been
Him
on
and
fire.
Coach, they're starting to they're gelling, man. That's going to be you know, as far as Jammer up in for the Halifax, to watch Nanatoke and Jammer, one's a righty, one's a lefty, but you got Dane and Nanatoke, and you want to know what I watch the last game they did against Rochester. Rochester was kicking the snot out of them, and all of a sudden those two just said, "You know what? Well, let's play lacrosse." And it was not a contest, not a contest. But go on. I know. I apologize. Did I lose you? I can't hear you.
I muted myself again, Paul.
Oh,
I
okay.
coughed, and then I was answering Kiefer in the chat because they're going to the he wants us to make the April 8th thing. That's Jared's 16th
Oh yeah,
birthday.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we
That's
can
even another great opportunity. Bang City's going to be up in Rochester on April 8th at 1 o'clock. Is the doors open? I believe they start play at 1:30.
1:30.
Following the Bats Bang game, Bang Bats game, is going to be the Albany
Firewolves taking on the
Wolves
right.
against the Rochester Nighthawks. So
And
you
your
know.
your ticket to the Nighthawks Albany game is what's needed to go to the other game. So you get
Yes.
to go see
Yeah.
two games. Anybody who hasn't seen any of the Bats games, check out the Laxney the Instagram,
Great team.
the
Great
YouTube
team.
channel feed, because that Bats team is great. Michael Cooper doing a great job running that
They
team.
do, as far as their tournament teams, Bang is our basically it's a Utica Yeti with a bunch of other players from throughout the country, the world, and they got the invite. Props to Keith and everything that he's doing with the Bang guys, because it's great stuff. They gone to Prague. They're looking to go back in 24, and they're heading down to Delaware in 2 weeks. From Delaware, going up to the Beantown Classic. That's after we play at in Rochester at the War Memorial, I believe. Is that also a War
I
Memorial?
believe it's a War Memorial. No, it's something insurance. Check out the all right, here, talk about something else. I'll find out in 2 seconds. I'll jump on the
Okay.
Bats' page. But the yeah, no, we'll get that information for you. But now, what other games this weekend? You also have the um Colorado playing Panther
Vegas.
City.
I'm excited. I'm coming down to watch the Vegas Albany. I don't care about the other games. You want to know
So
what? It's all about Bertrand right now. Let's go. Let's go, Birdie.
thanks, Blue Cross Arena. Thanks, guys. The guys in the comments knew it. I knew they'd find it before
Cross. Yes.
I started watching. I started typing and then I was like, oh, those guys got it. They're on the ball. Way more organized than we are most of the time.
That's why we need them in the. It's what it's all about. Yeah, that game is going to be a classic game. As far as we didn't get to play them at Laxney, we played two other great teams that played the Bats in the finals, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Semifinals and finals. You played the
Yeah.
yeah.
So as far as we did play out in Detroit against the Bats, and we beat them out there in Detroit last year. So that was a good feature.
Ooh.
Yeah. As far as
makes it interesting because they are now the defending Laxney champions, and I mean, really, they strolled into Utica and kind of showed you boys how to handle the tournament.
Well, as far as I'm pretty excited. As far as we came in 11th place, you want to know what? As far as putting us against the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed, I didn't mind that. Where you're going to have an opportunity. That's a week after we came off a national championship campaign, and there was definitely some busted up Yeti out there.
But I mean,
they left it on the floor.
That Bats team had Eric Turner. I mean, Bryce Tomei. You could go up and down that roster. Tyson Bell. I mean, that Bats team was ridiculous. Joel Watson. I mean, how many
Absolutely.
NLL players did they have on that team? I mean, that Bats team was nasty. It was once I saw their first game, I was like, oh, okay, good luck, boys.
Yeah,
this
So it's going to be a great opportunity for Bang to bang away. Excited.
Bang.
We can do bang, bang, bang. You got to have 3 bangs. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
As far as then we can do a little tailgating afterwards, and then go back in and watch the Rochester Albany game. That's going to be a great afternoon of lacrosse. That's for sure. So
I'm just hoping Albany can figure it out. But yeah, if you're interested, make sure you get your ticket for that. You can reach out to Bang City through Instagram, or same with Michael Cooper, runs the Bats page. Reach out to him. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to help. Plus, we had made their little flyer, so that should be good to go for that. But then back to the NLL, we'll try to wrap this up. You got Colorado and Panther City playing. That's a huge game for the West standings. We talked about it now. I mean, you can see Colorado is already sitting down behind Panther City, and Colorado has too much talent to sit there. They're going to start winning. The question, well, I guess they don't have to start winning, but with Zed Williams and the rest of that offense they've got, I mean, Dylan Ward, you got to figure is going to play like Dylan Ward here pretty soon. But that 77 goals, that you look at that and you're like, what is going on with Colorado's offense this year? They lost a couple of their transition guys. I don't know if that's what it was. Maybe the transition helped. Maybe they're still gelling. They got some guys coming off injury. It's just definitely not the Colorado team that we saw. I mean, just look at the goal differential there. You've got Panther City. Yes, they played one more game, but they've got 30 more goals.
Right.
That's insane. So Panther City, props to them. Huge game for Colorado. This is a chance for Panther City to establish themselves in the West as legitimate, contenders. We're not just the little guys here that want to maybe eke in to the final spot. And then you've got the Riptide versus Halifax. And Halifax, after losing to Rochester like that, Halifax is got to win, and New York's sitting at the bottom of the standings. But with only 4 teams getting in, we've talked about this. If Philly wins this weekend against Buffalo, that moves them. Huge. Yeah, that's huge. And then that bumps the Wings up above Halifax, I believe. So now, really, I mean, you look at the East. So the top 3 teams have 7 wins. So your 4th place team right now with 4 wins. If Philly wins next week, yeah, they're sitting there above them. I mean, there's a lot that can happen. We've still got about half a season left. But Halifax has got to, they got to start getting some of those other wins. They just have not been able to kind of put away the best of the best teams. They play great against some games, but and a lot of it, I think, comes down to goaltending. You have to have not just good goaltending, you have to have amazing goaltending in this league. It wins games. Ground balls wins games. And that is such a big thing. When we watch that other game, you could really see that that was the key though in that game was when Toronto was getting the extra possessions, but at one point Georgia had 5 offensive shot clocks in a row on a power play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Rebound. So yeah, make it take it as big with the face-off guy, and you will see that. But your ability to get those loose balls and get the extra possessions when you're already on offense, because that's one thing I really like the way Sensei looks at the game footage there, because he's the one who's really popped my eyes open to the rebounds. Like when we were talking about kids throwing, playing box, everybody's like, "Oh, you miss little Johnny," but now it bounces off the boards and comes back to him. Well, even more important than that though is your ground balls, because not only do you have your regular ground balls from missed passes, knockdown, stuff like that, every rebound you get so many more with those hockey style leg pads on the goalies in box lacrosse, and the way that they hold their stick too, they catch it so much less often, that the rebounds and the ground ball battles, and that's where you see that fast decision making start to take place from the kids, is because you have to know as soon as you scoop up that loose ball where your guy is. And you don't have time to look, because most of the time you're looking at the guy who's breathing down your throat or coming at you. You know, you want to make sure you're in the proper position for that. You got to anticipate where that is. And that's where I think, like you said, the everybody was looking for Canadians, but it's really the creativity is what you want to see, that backyard style. But
Yeah.
the first time you do it can't be in a game. You better practice this stuff at home, like you said.
Okay, there you go. Here's something that maybe the NLL takes a look into just from the PBLA this year. Do they possibly think about the penalty shot more?
No, no way.
No way.
I don't
Too
think
much
so.
of the traditional. They're going to stick to traditional roots.
I would love to see it, but you saw the way that affected those games. I mean, that was insane. Like you had complete games being decided from. I would love to see it, because it puts so much more pressure on you when you take a stupid penalty, especially a major. You take a
Not for
major.
nothing. Yeah, a major, and you can split it up. How about that? Let's go pump in a quick goal, and then let's run 5 minutes off of the major.
It was
It,
it was the best thing.
it definitely would be interesting, especially take a look at the Sundance or
Sundown.
Sundown. As far as take a look at those. Don't get me wrong; those guys are freaking awesome. But there's a reason why they're not up here at the NLL. Now taking a look and watch these guys do the some of those moves. I tell you, I can only imagine. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool.
I would love to see it, but the reason I don't think you will is you saw it too many times in there. So you would see teams going 100% in the power play. So let's just pick a game from last week. So if I pull up the Rochester Halifax game, and we're looking here, so just look at the penalty summary. So right now we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 penalty shots. So that's a potential for 8. I think it's amazing if they could find a way to do it a little faster. I think the PBLA, they were kind of working out the kinks. I do think they were really onto it with that, though. I think that was, absolutely genius, because the I don't know, if you could get your penalty or your power play unit that close to 100%. I mean, most of those teams were 75 to 100%. And if you tell any team that you're going to have 75% power play, your coach is probably going to say, okay, we're going to win a lot of games with that.
Yeah, well, it's something to think about. Maybe the NABLL needs to take a look. Who knows? I thought that was a great rule. It brought excitement. It brought, as far as to say, different style of play. Different thinking. I love the traditional. I don't want to tweak anything. Who am I as far as that goes? But as far as it brought a little bit, kind of like the PBLL or the PLL did with the 2-point shot. Put a little tweak in there just to
make it a little more interesting.
Everybody wants to see more goals. Do you want to see 7, 8 goals, or do you want to see 17, 18, 21 goals? That's. And with that, how many great saves are you going to see from a goalie that's, all of a sudden Dougie does the splits because he had to make an incredible save off an incredible shot by an incredible player. That's I don't know, just something a talking point, but I definitely think it would be pretty cool.
I don't know. What do you guys think out there in the chats that are still? They might have all left and went to bed now. What time is it? Yeah, we're almost 10 o'clock.
Almost 10 o'clock.
They, I happen to love it. I think I'm a huge proponent of it, because now if you take a stupid penalty, yes, you hurt your team, but you specifically have to answer to your goalie for putting him out there like that. Like,
Yeah,
was what you did worth it? Because when the whole team is sharing the responsibility, you can kind of get away with some things. But when you're just like putting your goalie out there, and if you do that to your goalie 4 times, don't break it if it's not broken. That's what keeper
don't break
says.
it.
No penalty
I
shots.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm all about tradition. I love it as well. But it definitely adds a little bit of flavor.
If
To
if
this.
you had hockey scores, I could see it. But I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the scores. If we just flip through last week's
Well,
games,
you
every
take a look. 50 shots,
yeah
50 saves. 50 saves. How many goals did they have? 12, 13. What was it? So he still had 50 saves. That's 64
yeah.
shots.
So I mean, if you look through here, you had one, two. I think there was 2 teams. Yeah, so 2 teams last week that didn't get double digits.
Yeah. And that's without any type of penalty. Yeah, I agree. But once again, that's they're the best of the best. That's why they're playing where they're playing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Nate brings up a good point in the chat too. Or the Thousand Island Spirit. It would make the defense play a little less aggressive, probably, if you're always worried about giving up a penalty shot. Because, yeah, so that's a very interesting point of view. I love to. It was cool for the PBLA, and it's unfortunate that that didn't stay because that was my favorite part of that league, watching those guys come down and take the penalty shots, especially that Skylar Thomas man. To watch him,
That kid was, he was, that twister that he did. He's on the other side of the goal crease, and he's twistering back and making a insane shot. It's like, holy jeez,
yeah,
great stuff.
yeah. So, well, obviously we know. So Bertrand, where is he from again? He's
He's
315
from
somewhere.
Baldwinsville. He's a 315 boy. He's a Baldwinsville B. He went on to win three national championships, and I think he was the player of the year 3 times for Division II. I believe it was Mercer, and then he transferred to Virginia and got a national championship at Virginia. And then last year, Rochester picked him up, and he was a Rochester Nighthawk or whatever hawk they are out there. There's so
The
many hawks. I don't
Nighthawks.
know.
Yeah, they're the Nighthawks.
Nighthawks. And I was surprised that they traded him away. I was a local kid doing great things, and now I get to cheer the kid on out in Vegas. It's a good thing.
And
It's great that
you're gonna,
they play at 11 o'clock at night, and I don't get to bed till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I love
yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get a chance to cheer him on at Albany this week, so it won't be
I am.
Vegas.
I'm going to call his uncle tomorrow and see if Andre wants to go down and cheer him on as well. Maybe I'll surprise him and say you're going with me. This way, I got a road partner because that road sucks driving from Albany to Lee. That's a long stretch.
It's a stretch. It's
Yeah,
definitely a stretch.
it's not too bad. It's about an hour and 45 for me to get to the egg
Is
or
it
whatever.
really?
Yeah,
The egg is right behind the MVP. They're basically touching. It's
yeah,
hilarious. So Bella had never noticed that there's a big egg-shaped building behind it. The
yeah,
last
the egg.
the last game we were driving to, I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? She was like, that's been there for this whole time. I was like, well, they didn't build it since last week, honey.
Yeah, honey, it's been there a couple of years, anywho.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have done an hour and 3 minutes. I think that is
It's more than we needed to do, but you want to know, time flies. We
it
get talking
does.
on different things,
Thank you
and
guys so much in the comments for being so active tonight. That was awesome. It's definitely makes it enjoyable.
awesome. I've still got these guys are still. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can. Let me see what they're talking about and see if we can chime in real quick. Let's see.
Peterborough likes the pressure.
They're doing what you and Coach Tom do right now, as far as I don't know if you can see.
Coach
They're
Johnson.
breaking down game film. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Props to Tony and props to Neil.
Yeah, definitely good guys to learn from. If you are interested in starting a new box lacrosse team, get yourself signed up with the NABLL. They have plenty of guys to help you do it. You know what we didn't do tonight? We did not talk about the Black River Ale House because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Get yourself
That's what
down to the Black River Ale House and Bag Square. If you're in Utica, go get yourself a authentic German Pilsner. Also enjoy their authentic German food. Bag Square. They've got the patio too. So if anybody's looking for a nice place outside, the Be Dry system. Water in your basement, get a hold of Be Dry. They will take care of it. You will have no more issues, and they're part of the Yeti. What more could you want?
huge, 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 Tom. Huge.
Believe
271, believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Nobody fights alone. 271. Support the non for profit. Great people doing great things.
I forget you can see the advertisement too, so you can
I'm seeing something. The CBI cables, plug them in. What the pros use, CBI cables. It's what we use.
It's what we
CBI
use.
cables.
It's why we sound so much better now.
So much. Deming Lakeside Trailer Park. If you're up in Old Forge area, contact the Deming family. They got a beautiful right on the lake. It's seasonal camping at its finest. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, friend of the Utica Yeti. Thank you, Eric Kiefer, and the support, getting those kids out there and letting them know box lacrosse exists. Utica Yeti, we exist. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, he exists. Family Landscaping, get a hold of Russ. It's 65 degrees today in the Utica. Family Landscaping is ready to rock. Russ is ready to do what Russ does. He gets it done.
Spring is here.
He does in Fay Farms. Fay Farms. Contact Jimmy Fay. Fay Farms. You got goats? Watch the homestead. The homestead, they got traveling goats.
Traveling
Jimmy's
goats.
got goats.
There we go.
George Kaler, Sales and Service, GKS. Contact George. You got chainsaw issues, they get it done. George Kaler, Sales and Service.
We got Crafty Beach in the comments saying thank you all the sponsors. And yes, and absolutely.
Yes, the sponsors are huge. Nora's Candy Shop. If you want turkey joints, you want some of the best turkey joints, Easter's coming up, get those into the Easter basket. Contact Nora's. Tri-City Lacrosse, 40 years of lacrosse. From the youth to the old the mall walkers.
And
Part of the paddle of the bound. Yeah, here you go.
well, I was going to say somebody will get a chance too to check out the Tri-City Lacrosse place if we get up to the Battle of the Barge, do the camp out. But now we have Tegray. It is not Tegray Tools, contrary to popular belief. It is Tegray pipe and it's couplers and stuff. They make we'll have to get Jimmy's hooked up in here the next time. So Jimmy Fay is a salesman. If anybody needs any piping or fittings or valves like that kind of
Jimmy Fay, he'll get you the pipe.
Jimmy Fay, he's in charge of the pipe and the beef. Wow, Jimmy's got it made.
He's the man. He's the man. Rome Sign, contact Terry Denton down at Rome Sign in Display Company. Beautiful, nice banners. They got billboards. They hook us up. They got us all of our banners. Bobby Dix Insurance Company, Robert Dix Agency. You need insurance, contact Bobby Dix. I had a huge issue here in my house this past weekend when it was negative. I called Bobby Dix. Customer service is like nothing, man. This guy does what he promises. Bobby Dix, get a hold of him.
Much different experience than I had with my insurance when my basement flooded.
Oh, I tell you one thing, these women and men in blue, thank you for what you guys do. Proud of y'all. Clinton Tractor, Implement Company, Caledona family, thank you so much. If you need tractor and farm supply tractors, if you got lawn tractors, get a hold of, contact Johnny Lehman, matter of fact, because Johnny works down at Clinton Tractor. He'll get you the best deal. If you need some farm product, get a hold of him. Crafty Beach, if you need your Crafty Beach designs, if you need some beach,
personalized. It's personalized
Thank
gifts.
you.
So she does tumblers, pens, cups, t-shirts. It's more of like you're one of a kind. You're not going to get these gifts from anywhere else. She personalizes, customizes everything, and you can see some of the examples. But if you have that special person in your life and you want to give them a gift that you cannot get anywhere else, and nobody else will have the same exact gift, that much I can promise you. We make coins. We do all kinds of stuff. There's a reason we call her the Crafty Beach.
She is crafty. MEM Photography, Mark Murphy. If you need the shots, action shots, game shots, still shots, head shots, Mark's got the shots. You need the shots, he gets the shots. Contact Mark Murphy.
And he's now actually Skill as well, right? So he is.
No, he's D1, baby. He's at Colgate.
Oh, Colgate, that's right.
Yes, he's on the coaching staff down at Colgate. He's helping them out. 4x Hill's doing a great job. As far as 4x Hill, and back to Black River Ale House.
Yes, 4x Hill, the hoodies and the sticks.
We do it well.
That I tell you, that Black River Ale House, we went out there after the one game, and the spread they put out for us all was amazing. The kids. Yeah, great pizza. Everybody was happy. What the chicken wings, amazing there. It's thank you all.
They are probably. I've had a couple. They are on the top 5 of chicken wings in Rome. As far as there's been a couple new restaurants opening up locally that got some great stuff. There's some great. I got some sponsors that we're going to be shooting for this year because.
Not just that, we also have another sponsor who I believe is going to be coming up in the next show or so. I actually saw it's hilarious. So you said that he called you today, and then I left after talking to you on the phone and saw him walking down the street.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was walking up the road. I tried hitting the horn twice. He had his headphones in. He couldn't hear me, but yeah.
He didn't know he thought he was at, what was that? There was a movie where the mailman, he's got that crazy mailman driver. I never mind. But anyhow, yeah, you got that crazy mailman driver beat up truck and driving through. I forget what it's got. Never mind. I'll shut up because we can go for another hour and we ain't got enough time.
No,
listen, Mr. Beach, I thank you for everything, man. I thank the fans out there. I thank the players that are out there, the coaches that are out there. I know. Tony and Neil, they're still talking. It's crazy. My older brother played his last game at 50. Crazy.
Played his last game at 50. They're talking about, and Neil is still not there yet, but he's getting it done. So yes, and stay tuned. In the near future, we should be having an NABLL show to be announced on their YouTube channel.
It's great stuff. As far as again, what we're all trying to do is spread the love of the game, and that's what it's all about. Getting everybody a little medicine. Hopefully, we put some smiles on people's faces tonight. And
also something. Any of these teams, if you guys would like to get on here, just reach out to either myself or Paul. More dudes. We are Hairy Pups. If you have a funny Instagram, and by all means, reach out, and I would love to have you guys. I'm going to start reaching out to a couple of those teams too, so we can get some of these other NABLL teams. I should reach out to the Westminster team, get Spencer Love, maybe do us a couple backflips with the high quality camera down in Delaware if he gets in. But yes, let's actually say goodbye, Paul. We've been saying it now we've now been an hour and 15 minutes. So we started at an hour, and now we're an hour and 15 minutes. Let's really say goodbye this time.
My friend, good night. Yeti Nation.
Yeti